Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Differentimness today. I want to share with you one simple habit, just one, that has the power to 10x your results almost instantly. One habit that, if you practice it starting today, can change the course of your life, your business, and your relationships. The moment you act is the moment your life begins to change. Immediate action is the true game changer because it closes the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Too often, people get trapped in a cycle of overthinking, doubting, and hesitating. They gather information, attend seminars, read books, and listen to podcasts, but they never take the step that actually moves them forward. The reality is, no amount of planning or preparation can substitute for doing. Immediate action breathes life into ideas. Without action, even the best idea in the world remains nothing more than potential. Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers, and it's the doers who change the world. When you move quickly on your ideas, you create energy. That energy builds momentum, and momentum is a force that makes success inevitable. Every time you take immediate action, no matter how small, you train yourself to become a person of execution rather than just intention. It's a habit that compounds over time. One small action leads to another, and before you know it, you're looking back at a string of victories that started with one simple decision, to move without hesitation. Immediate action also eliminates fear. Fear thrives in hesitation and doubt. The longer you wait, the bigger your fears grow. But when you act quickly, you don't give fear a chance to build its walls around you. You stay ahead of it, you outrun it. You act before your mind can invent 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't. Another reason immediate action is a game changer is because it invites opportunity. Life responds to energy, and the people who move first are the ones who find the doors opening for them. They're not necessarily the smartest or the most talented, they're simply the ones who showed up. When you act, you send a message to the world that you are ready, and the world, more often than not, responds in kind. Waiting for the perfect time is a trap because perfect timing rarely exists. Conditions are never going to be ideal. You'll never have all the information you think you need. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll be waiting forever. Success belongs to those who are willing to move with what they have, where they are, and trust that they can figure out the rest along the way. Immediate action transforms you from a passive observer of life to an active creator. It builds confidence because with every action, you gather real-world feedback. You learn faster, grow faster, and succeed faster. Inaction leads to regret, but action leads to results. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to take massive action right away. Even small, imperfect steps taken immediately can lead to incredible results over time. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about building a habit of moving quickly and consistently. Immediate action is not just a good idea. It is the secret weapon that turns potential into power. Start now, move fast, and trust that the path will reveal itself as you go. Ideas are powerful, but by themselves, they are nothing more than seeds sitting in a pocket. They have the potential to grow into something extraordinary, but unless they are planted, watered, and nurtured through action, they will never become anything more than dreams. Everyone has ideas. Some people even have brilliant, world-changing ideas. But success doesn't come to the person who simply thinks the most. It comes to the person who does the most with what they think. The marketplace doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards execution. It's not about how creative you are in your mind. It's about how willing you are to bring that creativity into the real world. Many people confuse having an idea with having achieved something. They feel a surge of excitement when inspiration strikes, but that excitement fades when the work begins. Inspiration without action is like having a map and never taking a single step toward the destination. Having a great idea is the starting line, not the finish line. It is easy to get stuck in the comfort of imagining how wonderful life could be if only everything fell into place. But life doesn't respond to what you wish for. It responds to what you work for. An idea sitting idle is like a battery sitting in a drawer full of energy, full of possibility, but completely useless until it's plugged into something and put to use. Knowledge and ideas are tools, and tools only matter when they are in the hands of someone willing to build something. Imagine a carpenter standing in a room full of the best tools in the world, but never picking any of them up. Nothing would ever be built. The same is true for your ideas. No matter how big or how exciting they seem, they mean nothing without consistent action behind them. There is a reason why the world is filled with people who say, "I thought of that years ago." When they see a successful invention or a growing business, having the idea first doesn't count if you didn't act on it. The credit always belongs to the person who put it into motion. It's the action that turns ideas into income, dreams into reality, and potential into purpose. In a world that is overflowing with ideas, it is execution that separates the winners from the watchers. The good news is, you don't need 100 ideas, you just need one followed by relentless action. The real magic happens after the excitement of the idea fades and the work begins. It's in the commitment to push forward even when it's difficult, even when it's inconvenient, even when it feels like nothing is happening yet. Those who succeed aren't necessarily those with the best ideas. They are the ones who make something happen with the ideas they have. Ideas alone are not enough. They are the starting point, but action is what writes the story. If you want to change your life, stop waiting for the next big idea and start acting on the one you already have. Waiting for perfection is one of the biggest traps that keeps people from ever reaching their true potential. Too many dreams are delayed or even completely destroyed because someone was waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect product. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. There will always be something you could tweak, something you could improve, something you could fix. If you wait until everything is perfect, you'll spend your whole life waiting. Progress, not perfection, is what changes lives. It's movement, not flawless execution, that creates results. Taking action, even imperfect action, is always better than standing still. Every step forward, no matter how small or messy, gets you closer to your goals. Progress builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence creates even more progress. It's a beautiful cycle, but it only starts when you stop trying to be perfect and start trying to simply move. Every successful person you admire, every business you respect, every masterpiece you see, none of them started perfect. They all started messy, with mistakes, with doubts, and with flaws, but they started. And because they started, they had something to improve on. You don't learn by thinking about doing something perfectly. You learn by doing, adjusting, failing, and trying again. Real mastery is born through action, through getting your hands dirty, through being willing to look foolish at first if it means getting better in the long run. The first version of anything you create will likely be your worst, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You get better because you start, not because you wait. Progress is where real learning happens. One of the greatest feelings in life is looking back at where you started and realizing how far you've come. But that journey only happens if you accept that your beginnings won't be perfect. They will be messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes even embarrassing, but they will be real. Every small, imperfect action you take lays another brick in the foundation of your success. Over time, those bricks stack up to create something strong, something lasting, something you can be proud of. Choosing progress over perfection means giving yourself permission to be a beginner. It means letting go of the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, and the fear of not measuring up. It means recognizing that every expert was once a rookie, every master was once a student. Nobody skips the early steps. The people who win are the ones who show up every day, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to be flawless to be effective. You just need to be willing to act, willing to learn, willing to grow. Progress, no matter how slow or imperfect, always beats standing still. Success is not about getting everything right the first time. It's about having the courage to begin and the persistence to keep going. Progress over perfection, that is the path to greatness. Many people believe that motivation is the secret to success. They wait for that feeling of inspiration to hit before they take action. But motivation is like a spark. It burns bright for a moment and then quickly fades. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll find yourself stuck in cycles of starting and stopping, excited one day and discouraged the next. Momentum, however, is a different force altogether. Momentum builds with action, and once it gets going, it carries you forward even on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. The truth is, you won't always feel motivated. Some days you'll wake up tired. Some days you'll feel discouraged or overwhelmed. But if you've built momentum, you'll move forward anyway. It becomes easier to keep going because you've already created a rhythm, a flow. You've trained yourself to take action regardless of how you feel in the moment. And this is where real progress happens, not in bursts of excitement, but in steady, consistent movement forward. Momentum creates energy. The more you move, the more energy you generate. It's like riding a bicycle. At first, it's hard to get the wheels turning. You have to push hard, and it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But once you gain speed, the ride becomes easier. You're able to coast, to glide, to move with less effort. That's the power of momentum. Small, consistent actions, repeated day after day, create unstoppable force. It starts slow, but if you keep at it, eventually it becomes almost effortless to stay on track. One of the greatest advantages of momentum is that it protects you from the natural dips that everyone experiences. You're not as easily thrown off course by bad days, setbacks, or obstacles. Because when you have momentum, you don't have to start from zero each time. You're already moving, and a moving object is much easier to keep moving. Even if you slow down, you're still ahead, still progressing, still building your future. Momentum also feeds your confidence. Every small win you create stacks on top of the last, building belief in yourself and your ability to figure things out. Motivation might get you excited for a day, but momentum builds a deep, unshakable trust in your own discipline and consistency. You realize that you can depend on yourself, not on external circumstances or fleeting feelings. The key to building momentum is simple. Start small, but start now. Take a step, any step, and then another. Don't wait for the perfect plan or the perfect time. Just move. Let action create motivation, not the other way around. Momentum, once created, becomes your greatest ally. It lifts you when you're tired. It pushes you when you doubt yourself. And it carries you further than any moment of excitement ever could. In the end, it's not motivation that changes your life. It's momentum, quiet, steady, powerful momentum that turns dreams into reality. Life has a funny way of responding to those who dare to move. When you take action, even small action, you send a clear message. You are ready. You are ready for opportunity, ready for growth, ready for change. Too often, people wait for a sign, a guarantee, or the perfect circumstances before they move. But the reality is, the universe doesn't reward those who sit and wait. It rewards those who step out in faith, those who move with courage, even when they don't have all the answers. Movement creates momentum, and momentum draws opportunities to you that you couldn't have seen while standing still. When you act, you create ripples. Those ripples reach people, places, and possibilities that you would never touch otherwise. Staying still might feel safe, but it guarantees that nothing will change. Movement, even uncertain and imperfect movement, opens new doors. It reveals new paths. It attracts new resources. The very act of moving tells the world, I'm serious about this. And the world responds in kind. You don't have to know exactly where you're going to get started. Most people who succeed didn't have a detailed map when they began. They had a direction, a desire, and the willingness to take the first step. Once they moved, life met them halfway, new relationships appeared, new skills were learned, unexpected opportunities showed up at just the right time. None of it would have happened if they had waited for certainty. Life rewards the bold, the movers, the people willing to trust in action more than they trust in fear. It's important to remember that movement doesn't always have to be massive. A small decision today can lead to a huge breakthrough tomorrow. A tiny, seemingly insignificant action can set off a chain reaction of events that radically change your life. Many people overestimate what they need to do in a day and underestimate what steady action can do over a year. The key is to move to take the step in front of you with whatever you have. When you move, you also grow. Challenges will come, of course, but challenges are not roadblocks, they are signs you're on the path of progress. Each time you move forward, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. You start becoming the kind of person who can handle the bigger dreams you hold in your heart. Standing still keeps you stuck in who you are now. Movement transforms you into who you are meant to be. In the end, life is not about waiting for the stars to align perfectly. It's about realizing that the stars align when you start moving toward them. It's about trusting that what you need will appear, but only after you take the first step. The universe rewards movement because movement is a sign of faith, a sign of commitment, a sign that you are ready to participate fully in the game of life. So don't wait. Move even if it's small, even if it's scary, and watch how life begins to open up for you in ways you never imagined. You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help you craft all those pieces. If you ever need more speeches, motivational writing, or anything else, just let me know. Wishing you massive success with your speech. You're going to inspire a lot of people. Thanks again, and take care.